Here's what you need to know about dwarves in Dungeons & Dragons. There's a few sub-races of dwarves and we can't go over all of them, but I'm going to try and outline the general picture and talk about the most prominent ones. Dwarves are, as you probably thought, a shorter race. Considerably shorter than the average human, they reach about 1.4 meters in length. This makes them only slightly taller as the tallest halfling. A bigger difference in these two races, however, can be found in the fact that, while dwarves aren't that much taller than them, they do weigh about the same as the average human. A solid 73 to 100 kilograms for their shorter stature. This is due to their sturdy build. Another thing they have in common with humans is the fact that the color of their skin and eyes and even hair is as varied as the taller race. Hazel eyes are common among the entire race, though blue eyes most among the shield dwarfs and green or brown mostly found amongst the gold dwarfs. Male dwarfs are often bald and grow thick facial hair. These beards are sometimes used to display their social status. As opposed to humans, both sexes of dwarves grow facial hair. Female shield dwarves, however, usually shave these entirely. The beards are mostly in a darker hue, though among the shield dwarves, blonde or red is just as common. Dwarves in general are a long-lived race, with most of them living to see their bicentennial, and few to live even over 400 years. They reach adulthood a bit later than humans, around 50 years old, but age about the same as humans just over a longer period of time. Good for them then, that they stay vigorous well over 150 years. Stories say that dwarves were shaped by Moradin, by the same stone that shapes the world. Whether this is true or not, dwarves do have similarities with this stone. Strong, hardy, dependable, and definitely a solid race. They are polite, especially towards elders, and have a great respect for traditions, regardless of the sub-race. Their similarities with stone, however, had another side of this coin. Their hardiness caused them to be stubborn and cynical. On another positive note, however, their bravery and tenacity knows hardly any equal. To befriend a dwarf isn't an easy task. Their friendship is hard-earned, but once acquired, you cannot ask for a stronger friendship. The stout folk are rather suspicious of others and slow to trust, suspecting the worst of an individual before they have proven their goodwill many times over. For dwarfs, loyalty is more than just a word, and believe it a gift and a show of respect to stand beside a friend in battle, and an even deeper one to protect that ally from harm. Many of their tales are about dwarves that gave their life to protect a friend or family member. Now, just as dwarves' friendship knows hardly any limits, so do their grudges, and feuds may last for so long that even after warfare has ended, they will still harbor ill feelings towards even entire races. Now, another tough aspect about dwarves is their stomach, because dwarven stomachs are resistant to practically all poisons, as well as their bodies in general being more resilient than other races. While dwarves, because of their untrusting nature and gruff behavior, might be difficult to like, they aren't at all unsocial. They possess a great deal of charisma and excel at bartering. Another thing to note is that dwarves can see quite well in the dark, about 18 meters even, which comes in all too handy living in their caves and mountain strongholds. Most dwarven societies are based on clans. These clans are gatherings of family and extended family members, with at the head, most commonly a dwarf whose lineage can be traced back to the founder of the clan. The loyalty to these members, as you can imagine, is of course very prevalent in these clans. Most dwarven clans focus on one or two kinds of crafting and specialize in this field. Marriage between dwarves is more often a political or social move than it is one out of love. In fact, it is believed that most dwarves don't really know what humans would call love, which doesn't mean that what they experience is less intense. A couple dwarf see each other as co-creators, and for a race that lives for the creation of objects, viewing crafted objects as their children as their all-father Moradin has crafted them, this feeling is said to rival that which would be called love. And as stated before, these firm humanoids experience feelings of respect and friendship extremely strong, being more than willing to lay their life down for spouse, clan member, or friend. The Gnome is one of the few races that, as a race, have gained this trust and friendship of the stout folk, though from a distance. While they look at gnomish culture with affectionate amusement, prolonged exposure to gnomes would most likely lead to irritation. So yeah, while the dwarves are short and their temper at times shorter, if you manage to befriend one of them, you'll find no more dedicated ally and friend than them. Now, if you want to learn about one of their biggest enemies, make sure to click the video about the Illithid or Mind Flayers. And as always, thank you for watching.